Hey, this is Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual pricing for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 67-year-old female. Now, the first thing I recommend is just go to our website at funeralfunds.com, and we've got these free quotes just on about every page. You just select the state you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount. Put your birthday, other info in there, click Get Quotes Now. It'll take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies with all the best pricing. And you'll be able to avoid those companies that advertise those ridiculously low rates, those teaser rates that get you to call in and then you find out that's for no coverage at all. And then they try to upsell you. And a lot of times that pricing's like 200% higher than other companies. So yeah, we can help you be a smart shopper there. You can call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you out. Now, the first thing you need to understand as a 67-year-old female is, how much do you need for your final expenses, cremation or burial? Do you need that $25,000? Well, let's kind of talk about that a little bit. The average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. That's nothing fancy. And if you're going to have a cremation and some sort of ceremony, celebration of life, remembrance ceremony, something like that, it's probably going to be in the, $3,500 to $4,500 range, roundabout. So we would typically recommend for that cremation where you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn, maybe around $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. Now, you'll notice that's more than the actual cost than it is today, but you're 67. We're hoping you live to 77, maybe 87. So we want to build in a little extra coverage for the future so that you're inflation proof on this a little bit right from the start. And then, if you're going to have that cremation and the ceremony, maybe $7,000 to $10,000. And again, just get a little bit more now, and that way you don't have to worry about the inflation kind of catching up and not having enough money when you do pass away. And if you do pass away sooner, with first day coverage, there's always money left over just to maybe take care of some other smaller bills, final expense, medical bills, kind of things like that. So keep that in mind. Now, for a burial, the average cost is right around $10,000. And, if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States right now with a $10,000 check, they'll get things done. It's not going to be anything fancy, I can assure you that, but they should be able to get it done. It's hard to imagine that they would say no to $10,000 and let that check walk out the door to one of their competitors. Now, a lot of times people, would want to, get a whole bunch of different coverage. So again, for burial, we would probably recommend for a 67-year-old, probably $10,000, $15,000, maybe $20,000. Not sure we'd really recommend $25,000. If you've got the funds to get more insurance, go for it. We can certainly help you out with that. But most of the people we're working with they're on a fixed or limited income. So we're just very, very just aware of their financial situation. You're better off having $10,000 worth of no insurance versus no thousand. And a lot of people would look at that pricing on $40,000 and go, oh, I can't do that. I'm not going to do it then. But now your family gets stuck with your final expenses, your burial or cremation. So at least get that done, get that taken care of. And if you want, you can always add more coverage later. A lot of times people are wanting that extra large coverage amounts just to give to family or children or something after they pass away. And, you'd probably be better off getting a smaller amount of coverage, and then instead of spending that money on insurance to give your kids money after you're dead, just spend that money on your kids while you're alive. You'll enjoy it, and they'll enjoy it. Everybody wins. Now, first thing we always recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. That's the only thing we help people with here at Funeral Funds of America. And we don't recommend those 2-year waiting period plans at all. I'll talk about those in just a minute. But what first day coverage means is that hypothetically, if your policy was approved today and you passed away tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay the $25,000 death benefit if that's what the coverage was for. And that's exactly what you want. That's the best coverage. You want coverage immediately, right away, no 2-year waiting period. Now, a lot of people would say, I do like that first day coverage, But, they ask health questions, and I'm not in the best of health. And we just say to that, we say, hey, your health is our concern, not your concern, at least when it comes to this insurance. Because we work with enough different insurance companies, they all ask different health questions. They all have different underwriting requirements. And, just 95% of the time we're getting people first day coverage or benefits. The only reason we wouldn't be able to get you that is if you had some really significant health issues, like you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or you were in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we would typically refer you out to a different insurance company. And it seems like every week, too, we get somebody that will call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. Their body's down at the funeral home. The funeral home director is not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. We need to get this insurance right away so we can get a check in our hand to get that check to the funeral home director. We have to let them know that there is no insurance company. There's no insurance company that's going to issue a policy on a dead person. It does not work out that way, unfortunately. And it's really sad because that person who died, they knew they were going to die someday. They were probably thinking about getting this insurance, but they never did it. And then it got too late, and they done went and died. And now their family and friends are going to suffer. And typically what ends up happening is people have to put this on credit cards. They have to do debt at super high interest rates, and then they have to pay this off over years and years and years and years. And it's just a terrible legacy to leave behind, that when you pass away, somebody's got to pay years and years and pay terrible interest rates and everything to get this paid off when you should have taken care of it. It's affordable. If you can't get as much as you want, get what you can afford. We can always add more coverage later. Don't be the person who leaves that terrible legacy behind. Don't do that. No. So we don't recommend the 2-year waiting periods either. Colonial Penn is a fairly well-known company. And you may not have known this, but their $9.95 plan has a 2-year waiting period. Yikes. You don't want that. They're not the only company, though. There's like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha stuff, and AIG and Gerber, a bunch of different other insurance companies. They, a lot of those companies, that's the only thing they sell is 2-year waiting period plans. And some of these companies have done a terrific job at convincing the American public that if they're over age 50, the only thing they're going to qualify for is a 2-year waiting period plan, to which we say, don't believe such nonsense. We help people with first aid coverage all day long. Yeah. So let's see here. Now, our 67-year-old female might be thinking that she's just outsmarted the insurance companies, and she waited until she's 67 and she's still doing well. She's going to call Colonial Penn because she's seen that TV commercial and it sounds so good, and she's probably thinking, you know what? For $9.95, I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And then she talks with a Colonial Penn agent or goes online and looks at their website like we've done here for you, and finds out that 1 unit of coverage for $9.95, $9.95, is only going to pay out $1,167. Now that is, yikes, that is not even enough for cremation in most parts of the country, not that I'm aware of. So, and it doesn't matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period. Oh, yeah, it just gets worse, right? And so just a lot of people would say that there's companies out there that will offer these teaser rates, these super low rates, just to get your attention and get you to call up. And then they'll get in there and they'll show you how little coverage you actually get, and then they'll go for the upsell and try to get more out of you. And we're not saying that's the case with Colonial Penn, but you might think differently. Anyway, let's take a look here. We're trying to get $25,000 out of them, and the problem is Colonial Penn only offers 15 units. And I don't think 15 units is going to get us up to $25,000. Let's click and see. No, it's not. It's only getting us up to $17,505. And you can't get like an even amount of coverage through Colonial Penn through the 995 because they sell by unit. They don't sell by dollar amount. Other insurance companies, you could get $17,000, but not Colonial Penn. The closest you can get is $17,505. Evidently, that $5 is important for something. I don't know why. I do declare I do not know why. Let's take a look, though, what $25,000 coverage for first day coverage would be. So we got $25,000 female, age 67. Click get the quote here. And remember, here we're only talking $17,000 for 150. But with the first day coverage, look at I want to show you this because this is crazy. $25,000. You can get $25,000 for right around $108. $108 versus $150. $25,000 versus $17,505. So why on earth would you go with a company that's going to force you to have a 2-year waiting period? They're going to force you to overpay now. They're going to force you to overpay for the rest of your life. Why would you do that? We recommend first day coverage. I'm just going to round this number up. Say it's 110. So that's a $40 difference. $40 a month is $480 a year. That's going to be after 10 years. Once our female is from age 67 up to 77, that's going to be roughly $4,800 more you will have overpaid. Why would you do that? We'd rather see you spend that money on yourself or your family rather than give it to an insurance company. Yeah, why would you do that? Let's take a look at some other companies here. You'll be able to see all these different companies. And here's one, Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess. I mean, yikes! Look at that pricing, $160 level coverage, first day coverage. That's good, but yeah, their pricing's higher. And the reason is they've got a deal where they will call when you pass away. They will call 2-3 funeral homes, and they will supposedly get you the lowest pricing. Maybe do a couple other things, but it's not free. They charge for that. It's built into the premium. $160 versus $108. So roughly $50 difference. So that's roughly $600 a year more. After 10 years, that would be roughly $6,000 more. So you got to ask yourself, do you think it's worth paying a company $6,000 extra to when you pass away? They're going to make 2-3 phone calls, maybe do a couple other things that might take an hour or so. Do you think that's worth around $6,000? Most people would say that's a pretty good payday for the insurance company. We would tend to agree. So we don't recommend that. We actually, at Funeral Funds of America, we provide a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you can just download that off our website for free. Print it out, and then you just fill it out. Who gets what and what goes where and what you want done after you're gone. And then you just keep that right next to your insurance policy. And when you pass away, your family and loved ones are not only protected financially with the insurance, but emotionally with the insurance policy. And you can change that anytime, and you don't have to pay an extra $6,000 to do that. So yeah, and when you do pass away, your family is just going to be overwhelmed with the love that you've shown for them, knowing that you took care of them financially with the insurance, and then you just let them know exactly what you wanted done, so they didn't have to worry about that. And they'll know that you were not only thinking about them in life, but you were thinking far enough ahead that in death they would need your help as well, and you provided that to them both financially and emotionally. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. So go to our website. We've got these quarters on every page. We've got a special one for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, where you can get the lowest rates and the most discounts. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out. And, if you've just got an existing policy and you're wanting to price shop it to see if you got the best deal or maybe even add more coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you're just looking for new coverage, we can help you out there too. And then if you just want help understanding what you might qualify for or have some general questions, we can help you out with that too. But we look forward to the day where we can actually get you the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. And We will enjoy that day when you do reach out to us and we do get to talk with you about this. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.